My name is Fumiko Chino, and I'm an oncologist at Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. Every day, I use advanced radiation techniques to treat people with cancer. I also do research on how to make cancer care more affordable. But here's the secret. I was never supposed to be a doctor. On the day of his 27th birthday, my husband Andrew started having pain and throwing up. When he was finally diagnosed, we learned that he had an aggressive cancer spreading through his body. We were young and in love, but more importantly, we had health insurance. We had done everything right. We knew we would have to make some sacrifices. Nobody thinks cancer treatment is free. But we had no idea of the financial burden that it would force upon us. Within 6 months, we had maxed out his prescription benefits and had to start paying thousands of dollars out of pocket for his medications. Another couple of months later, we met the lifetime cap. His health insurance quite simply stopped paying for his care. Through chemotherapy, hair loss, and nausea, Andrew managed to continue to work to complete his PhD. He knew his ability to secure a job may be his only shot of getting new health insurance. Meanwhile, the bills just kept coming in like waves. I cashed in my 401k. We had families smuggle medications across the border. We even considered moving to Canada. Nationalized healthcare was looking pretty good. But moving was a signal of defeat. It meant that Andrew wouldn't be able to complete his degree or start the promising career that he had earned. It meant that he would be completely defined by cancer. Amazingly, Andrew was able to complete his doctoral defense. Later, his coworkers told me that he looked so pale, so thin, it was scary. He was hospitalized the next day for progression of tumor in his lungs. This is the cruelty of cancer, coupled with the cruelty of the healthcare system. Every time we got a little ahead in life, cancer would snatch it away from us. Here's the thing I know now, as an oncologist, about when young people get cancer. Their bodies are so healthy, they can take so much aggressive treatment. Their capacity to absorb setback after setback is incredibly high, until suddenly they can't. It was in the gray winter that Andrew died, leaving me an empty house, an empty future, and a stack of bills. When he was gone, the debt remained. I was hounded by debt collectors. One even called me when I was at his funeral. It was like a black cloud. It followed me and cast a shadow over me everywhere. Even today, I get calls from collectors trying to cash in on his sickness. As a young widow, I struggled for purpose. Our experience had highlighted the gaps in the U.S. healthcare system. I decided to go to medical school to try to fix it from within. I wanted to prevent this from happening to someone else. It was in medical school where I learned the newly coined term, financial toxicity. It perfectly described what had happened to me and my husband. The facts are that this is a broken system that is financially toxic to patients. Even with health insurance, the high costs of care are leaving some families adrift in debt. 40% of Americans have depleted their life savings within 2 years of a cancer diagnosis. Cancer costs drive 1 in 4 to place their survival at risk by skipping out on appointments, scans, or medications. I've seen the financial toxicity of cancer in the patients I treat. Lost jobs, lost homes, and lost independence. Many patients have to choose between their health and the financial stability of their family. Ultimately, some lose both, leaving their families both emotionally and financially devastated. In many ways, I don't need a research portfolio to back this up. I know it to be true because it happened to me. There are structural flaws in the U.S. healthcare system. There is a problem with how health insurance is acquired and maintained. Patients are desperate to continue working despite debilitating side effects because a loss of their job may mean loss of coverage for both them and their families. Millions are now vulnerable to coverage gaps due to job loss from the pandemic. Drug pricing is disconnected from drug value. The average cost of a new cancer medication is over $100,000 a year. 80% of cancer drugs are overpriced. We're just massively overpaying. There is a complete lack of price transparency. People have no idea how much their care will cost them until the bill shows up and they struggle to pay for it. These are not abstract concepts to me. I've seen desperation in the faces of my patients. After the shock and fear of a diagnosis is gone, the next question for many will be, how am I going to pay for this? Thankfully, there are solutions to the affordability crisis. It's a fact that improving public health is just good politics. There are national advocacy efforts that span across the aisle to evolve health insurance, to protect pre-existing conditions, and to enhance value in cancer care. There are local advocacy efforts to support patients on treatment with transportation, parking, lodging, and to work with improving access to clinical trials closer to home. Within ourself, the goal should always be for personal or self-advocacy. Shared decision-making means that clinicians and patients work together to make decisions based on both the medical evidence and patient preferences and values. Defining your values means figuring out what matters to you. You can start now. Talk to your loved ones about what you are and aren't willing to put up with in the future should serious illness strike. Having those conversations without the shadow of cancer can really help center decision-making in a crisis. Sometimes shared decision-making means having difficult conversations about prognosis. This is hard for both patients and providers. I know as an oncologist that my genuine affection for patients can make it difficult to broach sensitive topics. There are times when I find myself speaking in aphorisms because it's just too hard to speak out loud a poor prognosis. I worry it may rob my patients of hope. I want to encourage you to speak to your physicians about how treatment decisions can align with your own value system, including making cost part of the conversation, if that's important. Sadly, me and my husband suffered in silence. We bore great costs for his care, yet never told his physician. We were ashamed of our costs, how we couldn't afford care. The sad thing is that I know now that cost conversations work. They can lower financial burden for patients. This is why this message is so important to share with you. This is our power. Collectively, we can transform healthcare from within the system, but we need open and honest conversations, even if they're hard. My husband would not be defined by his cancer, and I will not be defined by a cancer widow. I am a physician, an oncologist, and I'm on a mission to improve cancer care in America, to take the lessons that I learned and turn them into a brighter future for the next person to walk through my door. Life can bring you to unexpected places, and death can too. Ultimately, this is a call of action of sorts. We need to move forward to improve affordability within healthcare, both on a national level and personally within our own families, so that no one needs to make the difficult decisions of life over life savings. The first step is having a conversation with yourself, with your loved ones, and with your physician. Thank you.